Hi there, my name is Gerrid Smith. I'm the CEO of Fortress. We are an SEO agency, and I have been serving personal injury lawyers for most of my career. But I started back in 2005 performing SEO. In 2007, built the largest personal injury lawyer directory. And then in 2008, started an SEO agency that served the legal field. So I've got a lot of experience helping personal injury lawyers rank better. And I wanted to highlight a couple ideas today on, a couple of the reasons why Morgan & Morgan does well. But I also want to drill down into a smaller personal injury website that's actually here in my hometown and highlight some things that they could be doing better and ultimately that their competitors could be doing better to beat some of these different sites. So first of all, want to obviously say Morgan & Morgan is just a rock star law firm from a marketing standpoint. I really don't know much about the actual services that they handle, and if they're good or not doesn't make a difference for this particular video, because they are very, very good at SEO. And they've been very good for a long time. I remember connecting with one of their link builders, again, 15 plus years ago. And they've been at this for a long time. They do a lot of things really well. But I want to highlight a couple areas for improvement on their side. So the first of which is, I really like when the headline or the H1 lines up with the title tag. And it's totally fine if you want to test this a couple different ways, but what I've noticed over the years is that when the title tag and the H1 line up and they are targeting the exact same keywords, there tends to be a synergistic effect. And if you're not familiar with the H1 and the title tag, those are really the top two. And I think this would be, all SEOs would agree with this. These are the top two factors for on-page SEO. So you have an H1 here, just says car accident, which is fine. But I would say, putting car accident lawyer would be better, especially when up here you have car accident lawyer in your title tag. And again, this is something I would play with, I would test. They have no fee unless we win, open 24/7 with a period. To get rid of the period, you don't need the period at the end of 24/7. So I would play with that a little bit. That's a lot of stuff in there that I think Google is just going to trim out. Google recognizes the fact that this is something that every user can see, but the title tag is something that's only really going to show up in the search results within Google. And when you stuff your title tags with a bunch of stuff that you don't have in your H1, it rarely shows up that way in the search results. And I haven't checked to see what this particular page is showing as in Google, but I highly doubt that it's car accident lawyer, no fee unless we win, open 24/7. Because if you don't have it here, it realistically isn't going to show up there. And that's just a general good rule of thumb. So let's work down the page. One of the things I want to point out that Morgan & Morgan does a really great job is they spend a lot of time and money on conversion optimization. And it's a balancing act as a big company to balance creating web pages that are going to rank well and creating web pages that are going to convert well. And Morgan & Morgan has done this balancing act very well over the years, but it does leave them a little bit vulnerable for companies that are like, listen, we're going to be SEO first. And so if you're competing against a Morgan & Morgan, you can be what I would call SEO first, where you're not maybe putting as much emphasis on the conversion side of things, and you will have an opportunity to rank better. I'm going to show you what that looks like and explain that in a little bit more detail here in a minute. But working our way down the page, they've got this little box, which I wasn't really sure why they didn't just, make it the same size of the picture, just because it's going to cut off. And on mobile, I think this is going to be a little bit awkward because you're scrolling down the page and then you have this other box that you have to scroll down. Not a big deal from an SEO standpoint, but it felt a little bit awkward from a user standpoint. My guess is, they've got some alt text here in these pictures. I didn't actually check this. They actually don't. Okay. So that would be an opportunity for them is to put, I think these are the Morgan brothers, but make sure you've got car accident attorneys in there. You could easily right here put the car accident attorneys featured above are licensed in Florida. That would be just a super, super simple way to boost this. And one of the things too I want to point out is if you find yourself competing against a firm like a Morgan & Morgan, where you really have to step up your SEO game, and this is something that they could do as well, is they could be, my guess is they're driving their PPC traffic to this page, this car accident page. And so they have dual purposes here, more than likely, where again, you have the conversion optimization side and the SEO side competing. And I'd really like to see, some little things like the alt text, stuff like that, add car accident in there. It'll really, really help, especially when you have the domain authority that these guys have because they've been doing SEO for so long. All right, FAQs. This is essential these days for any site in any competitive niche. And we're going to go look at another site that these guys compete against on a very local level, just in my hometown. They do not have the FAQs on that particular site, and it would make them, really unbeatable in their market. FAQs are just a great way to hide content. As you can see, this doesn't take up a lot of space, but when you start clicking on this, you can see this is a perfect, wonderful place to just hide some keywords, get some great content in there, make sure that you're maximizing all of your on-page SEO opportunities. So I'm a huge fan of FAQs. Like every single money page, regardless of your niche, needs to have FAQs just like this. So they get an A+ score on that. Easy to get started. Really, again, user focused. I love sections like this, really beautiful. And then they have a lot of trust that they're building, some social trust here with all of their verdicts and such. They've also got their keyword, put in here a number of times. I clicked this a handful of times. You can see it just keeps going, which is smart. Like hide in a legal, safe way, hide that content, just stuff as many verdicts as you can in there. This is all great. Like this tells Google, these guys know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. So I love this as a concept. And you can just see it keeps going and going. So here we've got more to explore. And this is awesome. I love this because this builds what's called topical authority. And essentially what that means is when Google lands on a page, they're looking at the page and saying, okay, ultimately, how well is this particular page optimized? And then after that, they're saying, is this site and is this page, are they a true topical authority on this particular topic? So we're on a car accident page. The topic here is car accidents. And Morgan & Morgan is telling them, yes, we are a topical authority. Look at all these other subpages that we've built under this auto accident page, which I want to highlight to you. If you could look in the lower hand part of my screen, you can see the URL structure. All of these pages are under the car accident page, which is this particular page that we're on right now. And this is fantastic. They actually have show more, so they've got more of them there, show more again. This is real topical authority. Not too many sites understand this and understand how to develop this. This isn't rocket science. They're just basically saying, what is every possible conceivable topic we can talk about, relating to car accidents, and we're going to put that underneath our main page. Brilliant. The opportunity then comes, you can see that's the end of the page. The opportunity then comes, I think, on the link building side with these guys, and I'll explain why. So if we take a look at the links here real quick. Oops, that's not the correct page I want to start with. This is it. So this is their auto accident, main car accident page. You can see they've got 746 referring domains. Obviously amazing. They've built that over 20 plus years. And these are more than likely really high quality links. I don't have time to dig into every single one of these to determine quality, but more than likely these are great links because I know that they've been acquiring quality backlinks for a long time. So from a, we'll call it a parent page perspective, you're not going to beat this. But let me show you how I would go after this particular site and compete with them when I really can't build this many links into a page in a reasonable amount of time to compete with them. And it's not from a budget standpoint. Let's say one of their competitors came to me and said, listen, I've got $100,000 a month I want to spend on links. You can't build this many links into a page and not expect to get realistically penalized or suspended, just run into sort of different issues. But here's the beauty about this. So what I also pulled up is I pulled up a subpage. This is one of the subpages under their main car accident page. And this is one of the questions they answer. Again, I love this. Building topical authority. It's kind of a short page, which I'm not, fine. This is fine. It's not like it's exceptional or anything. But here's the opportunity. This page, this is the number of referring domains for that page I was just looking at, and you can see there's no backlinks into this page. So in one of the markets that I'm in, where it's brutally competitive, and again, you have a couple different opportunities when you're building links. You could just fire all of your links at your money page, which in this case would be the main car accident page, or you can build out topical authority and build a bunch of links into your sub pages that are under your money pages. And that's exactly, I'm guessing that's what they're going to do. But if I were to compete against them, that would be my main strategy, recognizing I can never build 746 referring domains in a reasonable amount of time. Maybe I could build that many over the course of a year and I would be fine from Google's perspective. But if I'm like, listen, I want to compete, maybe, I'm helping a competitor that's, a couple spots under them and they're at 200 referring domains. So maybe I'm going to start by building 20, 30 referring domains to their money page as a starting point. But I'm going to be building 2 to 3 referring domains into, let's say, 50 to 100 subpages that are under that money page. As an example, this particular page, and you can see there's, I don't know, I didn't see how many pages there were, but there were a ton of these little pages. And so what I would do is I'd build 2 to 3 links into pages just like this that are under that main page, that main car accident page. And that whole section of the website is going to increase in authority. And so this is how you compete when you're going after or up against a very competitive site that has a lot of resources, and you have to beat them with other tactics. In this case, I beat them with topical authority with my link building. So they're probably doing this, which would make it very hard to catch up with them, in a couple months. But if I had a competing site against these guys, this would be my focus, because I could build 700 links over a couple month period of time. Again, if I'm doing 2 to 3 links per page and I've got 100 sub pages under that car accident page, it wouldn't take long to get 700 referring domains into that section of the site. And Google's going to love that. What Google doesn't like, and again, this is nothing against these guys because I'm guessing this is brand new, but what they don't like is when sites go out and build tons of these sub pages for the purpose of building topical authority, but they don't build the appropriate level of backlinks with it. So if you're out there and you're just publishing hundreds of pages a month with no links going into any of those pages, I haven't seen that work well, and I've only heard about sites getting whacked doing that, because obviously it's really cheap to build content these days with AI. And so you have just tons of these sites that are just publishing mass amounts of articles, but they don't have the appropriate domain authority or backlinks to go along with it. And if you're only building 1-2 links a month to each of these pages, which is really all you need, that whole section of the website is just going to absolutely skyrocket. And all of those sub pages should link up to the parent page. In this case, you have this, what happens if you get insurance after an accident? This page links up to the car accident page, and all of that link juice and domain authority rises to the top. Okay. And so that car accident page is going to do exceptionally well even though it's only getting maybe 20, 30 new links a month, the section of that whole section of the site and all of these subpages linking to it is really going to boost its overall domain authority. So with that being said, I want to switch over to a local site here. This is a local guy. He's ranking very well here locally in Sarasota, which is where I live. Absolutely crushing it. I want to point out some differences. So I really like this page. I think they did a nice job of breaking up this page. What I see too often and what I expected to see when I visited his site is just blocks of content. One of the things I love about what Morgan's doing is there's no blocks of content. Again, they have a very conversion first approach to building their websites. It's just, they break up the content beautifully. It's not boring in any way, shape, or form. They do a really, really, I think, beautiful job. There's just a couple issues that they have that they need to take care of on the content side, which maybe I'll come back to that in a minute, but I want to stay focused on this. So what you won't see here, and that I would recommend, because it's just a vulnerability right now, I think, with his on-page strategy, is the FAQs. There's no FAQs. Super simple to drop 5 to 10 FAQs here at the bottom. Put them in accordion tabs so that they're, basically hiding the content, which is exactly what Morgan did. If you're not familiar with accordion tabs, these are accordion tabs where you click it and it drops down. Okay. So the only thing that I would maybe want to see here is, some other images or other things to break up the content a little bit, right? The other thing that you're not going to see on this page is you're not going to see that topical authority. You're not going to see subpages under this car accident page. Not a problem, though. This is a small market. I think there's 50, 60,000 people in Sarasota. Obviously, he didn't need it. But if I was competing against this site, or if I worked for this site and I'm like, listen, I want to make sure we secure our position in the #1 spot, or if I'm competing against him and I want to beat him, that would be how I would beat him. I'd add, it doesn't have to be a lot. Again, this is a small market, maybe 3 to 5 pages under my car accident page would be more than appropriate. Build some links into those pages in addition to this page, and you should absolutely crush it. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention with Morgan's site is you have to monitor the amount of content that you have on your page. And again, this is where I was saying it's a balancing act between conversions and SEO. So if we do, Command All on a Mac, and I look up the word count, we've got 2,200 words, which is good. But I also have the Surfer report pulled up here. And for the car accident industry, this is nationwide too, 2,100. So they're in line with that. But again, I would be curious, do we need to add a couple more sections? And again, you can add extra sections of the site at the bottom to just kind of hide it a little bit, and that should suffice. One of the things too is you can see here, Forbes has got a 71, John Foy doing good with a 78, 91 here for Top Dog Law. Not a lot of these sites are up in the 90s though. So that, leaves a pretty big opportunity. I didn't run Morgan through this tool, which I should have, but my guess is, their score just isn't where it needs to be in order to be a top 10 site, at least today. And again, I know they're doing, I could see from their links over here. Whoops, not that one. That they just put this page together. So they're constantly, obviously, adjusting things on their site. And so who knows what they're working on right now, but I have no doubt that they've got a smart strategy. But anyway, if I were competing against this guy, again, build out some FAQs at the bottom of the page, and then go after building a little bit of topical authority with, again, 3, 5, maybe subpages. That's really all you need, because take a look at this. These are the links going into that particular page. Only 28 referring domains. I say only 8. Again, it's a small market. You don't have to build a ton. He's building what he needs to build in order to rank #1. there really isn't a need to build more than that, but I'm just sharing from my perspective. If I had to compete against these guys, you know, you could get up to 28 domains in a period of a couple months in a very organic, natural way. And then if you built, let's say, 50 links total across your 3 to 5 sub pages that are under that page, you're going to crush it. You're going to absolutely crush it and rank #1 in this market, no problem. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this particular video that we put together. If you need help with your SEO strategy and your personal injury law firm, I would love the opportunity to help you out. Thanks for watching.